Well, we're back at it. Another Clone Wars Adventures. This one's Volume 8. We got 4 stories in this one. The first is called Versus by the Philibok Brothers and colors by Tony Avina. In this one, Luminara Unduli is in a fighting ring run by some Hutts. That's pretty much it. It's fun. It's very enjoyable. Next, we've got Old Scores by Chris Avallone, art by the Philibok Brothers, and colors by Pamela Rambo. In this, Aurra Sing is lured to Nar Shaddaa to kill Jedi, only she's the one being hunted. Aurra Sing was a character that we saw in Phantom Menace for 2 seconds. I mean, everyone's talked about this at this point. Aurra Sing was like a wasted opportunity to try to make a new Boba Fett, and a failure. You know what they tried to do with Phasma in the new trilogy? They tried to do that with Aurra Sing, and they just never followed through. She has some real solid stories, like stuff in what would become the Star Wars Republic comics, but for the most part, when the Clone Wars happen, there's not a lot to do with Aurra Sing. We've got this story, and we got a story in the Republic comics that sort of sets up where she is when she shows up in the Coruscant Nights trilogy. Yeah, it's weird. This one, the story's fine. I found it pretty enjoyable, some fun Tartakovsky-esque action in it. And a lot of people don't realize that Aurra Sing is a fallen Jedi. That was like the big twist on her character. But, yeah. Sorry, Cleo is sharpening her toenails on some stuff. Let's move on to the third story in this. It's called One of a Kind by Jason Hall, art by Ethan Beavers, and colors by Rhonda Pattison. In this, we have a Zeltron mercenary hired to go to Kamino to get a cloned sample. But Obi-Wan's going to stop her. And this is episode 2 Obi-Wan. He's still got the fabulous mullet. That's a thing with this volume. We kind of really go back to early Clone Wars stuff in here, which is kind of weird. The previous volume did it a little bit too. Like, we go back and forth. This is when the Clone Wars Adventures took the Filoni stance and went all over the place. But yeah, One of a Kind's fine. If you didn't know about Zeltrons, they're personally one of my favorite alien races. They're red alien humanoids that are really in touch with like their feelings and stuff, but they can be trained to be really good warriors. And this one is an outcast because she is an albino. So that's kind of interesting. It's a solid story. They kind of Tartakovsky this character up a little too much. If you read it, you'll understand what I mean. Zeltrons typically don't look that way. Zeltrons are fun because they're a creation from the Marvel comics, the original Marvel series, which these characters, this race came back into existence with Legacy, which was probably coming out by now. I think it was. Which was John Ostrander's next project after done with Republic series. So, anyway. Solid story. Last one is called Pathways. And this is by Jeremy Barlow. Art by the Philibok Brothers. And colors by Dan Jackson. And in this, we deal with a battle droid that gets damaged and it becomes self-aware. And decides, I don't want to fight for the Confederacy anymore, and runs away. It's a fun story. Also, we do have a grapple droid from the Revenge of the Sith video game, because that was still relevant when these were coming out. So, that's fun. That's a fun thing to have. I like the Clone Wars Adventures. They really take a lot of random EU things that could potentially be secondary canon, and they make them C canon, which is fine by me personally. So overall, what would I give Clone Wars Volume 8, Adventures Volume 8? Give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's well worth your time. Anyway, have a good one.